Hello, future RMTs. Welcome to our online discussion. And in this lecture, what we are going to discuss is all about lipids, lipoproteins, and the heart disease. Okay. So our learning outcomes are as follows: differentiate classifications of lipids and lipoproteins, and then evaluate laboratory results in diagnosing lipid and lipoprotein abnormalities and related disorders. To start with, we'll have first a review of our basic organic chemistry and our basic biochemistry so that we'll have to understand the processes that occurs in the lipid and lipoprotein metabolism. To start with, let's define first lipids. Take note, guys, that lipids plays an important role. No, it plays a vital role, plays a variety of roles in our human body, from simple providing structures to furnishing biochemical molecules or biochemical energy in the body is one of the functions or two of the functions of our lipids. Take note that because of these compounds, because of its interesting class of these compounds, no, lipids are characterized by solubility, not by structure. Okay? Take note, people, that lipids dissolves in organic solvents. Okay? They are water insoluble. Okay? They are only soluble in organic solvents, particularly our diethyl ether. Okay? Diethyl ether is a nonpolar. Diethyl ether is a nonpolar organic compound, no, which is a good solvent for our lipids. Okay? Uh, Take note that lipids is also composed of long chains of fatty acids. Okay? It can be saturated or unsaturated depending on the presence of the carbon double bonds. Okay? Take note also that your lipoproteins or lipids rather, our lipids is composed of long chain of hydrocarbons, of fatty acids, and phosphate linkages. Okay, and these phosphate linkages in phospholipids. And also, it is composed of four ring structure characteristic of a cholesterol and various steroid hormones. Okay, take note that since lipids are water insoluble, they form a important fractions of forming membranes to separate components from the other. Okay, now we are going to discuss the lipid structures and functions. First things first is let us discuss what is a fatty acid. When we said a fatty acid, it is the simplest lipid class in terms of structure. Okay, it is the simplest lipid in terms of structure. Okay, there are two types of fatty acids. Okay, this is what I've mentioned a while ago. We have the saturated and the unsaturated fatty acids. Well, when we said fatty acid or when we said saturated and unsaturated, it is our hydrocarbons. Okay? And when we said hydrocarbons, it is composed of two main elements such as your carbon and our hydrogen. Take note that fatty acids is a long chain of hydrocarbons, a long chain of carbon bonds, no, which can be saturated and unsaturated. Now, when are we going to define a saturated hydrocarbons? When we said saturated hydrocarbons, okay, this contains carbon, carbon, single bond. And when we said unsaturated hydrocarbons, it is your carbon, carbon, double bonds. Okay? The carbon-carbon double bonds can be two or more present in a long chain of fatty acids. Okay? Now, having said that we have saturated fatty acids, which means this is a fatty acid that contains 10 to 16 carbon atoms. Okay? Contains 10 to 16 carbon atoms. And take note that when we said saturated fatty acids or fatty acids, no, the functional group present is no other than our carboxylic acid. Having said that this is a carboxylic acid, take note that the general formula of our saturated fatty acid is described as CH3, CH2, X, C, double bond O, and OH. Since this is a carboxylic acid, no, a fatty acid is defined or characterized as a carboxylic acid, so the functional group present is C double bond O and OH, which is our carboxyl group. Okay, now what is this X is all about? This X pertains to the number of carbon chains that is usually 10 to 16 carbon present. Okay, now again take note that all carbon atoms or carbon bonds in our saturated fatty acid is considered as a single bond. Now how about for our unsaturated fatty acids? When we said unsaturated fatty acids, now the only difference between our saturated and unsaturated is in unsaturated, it contains a carbon-carbon double bonds, and there are conformities, no, that can be formed in our carbon-carbon double bonds because of the carbon double bonds. When we said conformities, we have the cis and trans isomerism in the formation of our fatty unsaturated fatty acid. Cis and trans is possible because of the carbon-carbon double bond. That's why you sometimes you will hear trans fat or trans unsaturated fatty acids. Now, having said that unsaturated fatty acids are almost similar with the composition of our saturated fatty acids, and the only difference is the presence of the double bonds that makes it liquid at a room temperature. I take note that the carbon-carbon double bonds of our unsaturated fatty acids allows it to become liquid at room temperature. And take note that this property is an important role in decreasing the lipid storage and lowering the tendency to block the blood vessels or the blood flow in our artery. Now, there are two major functions of our fatty acids. Okay, the first one is fatty acid is the building blocks, no? That is the building blocks of triglycerides and phospholipids. Later, as we discuss triglycerides and phospholipids, you will be able to know why these triglycerides or why these fatty acids is considered as the building blocks. And lastly, uh, the other function or the other major function of our fatty acid is it provides what? No, it provides source for metabolic energy. Okay. Next in line is we have the triglycerides. And when we said triglycerides, what is this? Okay, this is a fatty acid. No, this is a fatty acid that is composed of triple ester form between the glycerol. Okay, this is the glycerol. Okay, triple esters formed, no, between glycerol and fatty acids. Take note, guys, that glycerol is considered as an alcohol. No, this is an alcohol with the presence of 3 hydroxyl group. No, meron siyang 3 hydroxyl group. No? And if we are going to name it, this is our glycerol. Or if we are going to give the IUPAC name of this structure, that is simply our 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Propane triol. Okay, 1, 2, 3 propane triol, 3 carbons, or simply, this is our glycerol. Now, a while ago, I said that fatty acids, so this is our fatty acids, no, is the building blocks of our triglycerides and phospholipids. Now, triglycerides is formed, no, in union with our glycerol and fatty acids, and will have the formation of what we call ester. Okay, so when we said ester, this is also a organic compound, which is a combination of carboxylic acid plus our alcohol. No? This is a combination of carboxylic acid plus our alcohol, and this is what we call the esterification. Okay? And if we are going to discuss the basic structure of our ester, we can say that the basic structure of ester is defined as R, C, O, uh, O, R, double bond, O. Okay? So this is the basic structure of our uh, ester, no? Ester in union with carboxylic acid and alcohol. Now, our glycerol is the building blocks of our triglycerides plus our fatty acid, which is our carboxylic acid. Now, take note, no, the union of these three will give you your triglycerides. Now, take note that since we have three carboxylic acids or fatty acids involved in this class, take note that this fatty acid can be unsaturated or saturated. And the number of carbon atoms present in the fatty acid is not necessarily or does not necessarily they have the same number of carbons. Okay, the one carboxylic acid or one fatty acid can be longer from the other carboxylic acid. One carboxylic acid can be saturated and the other is unsaturated. Okay, so the union of this glycerol, not the building blocks, and as well as our fatty acids, which is also considered as the building blocks, will result in the formation of what we call triglycerides. Okay, now take note, guys, that triglycerides is considered or also known as our triacylglycerol. Okay, take note that triglyceride is also known as the triacylglycerol. Glycerol. Okay? Now, what is the purpose of triglycerides? Take note, people, that triglycerides serves important functions as part of the cell membrane and storage forms of lipids. And take note, because of the structural variety, no, of our triglycerides, it allows the fatty acid portion of the molecule the presence of unsaturated and saturated, which was mentioned a while ago, provides a number of different conformational possibilities in the molecule. Okay, remember, no, due to the double bonds in the saturated fatty acids, possible unconformational structure or so pwedeng mag-iba-iba siya ng structure, but at the end of the day, it is still your triglycerides. Okay? Now, take note, some very specific tailoring of compounds for the membrane resulted from the specificity of our triglycerides. Okay? Next is we have our phospholipids. A while ago, I said that our fatty acids is the building blocks of our triglycerides and our phospholipids. So kanina, we have there, in triglycerides, we have there the glycerol where our fatty acids will attach on the hydroxyl group so that it will form a triglyceride ester bonds. Now, how about for our phospholipids? Take note, guys, that phospholipids is somehow structurally similar to our triglycerides, okay? Because they both have the triglycerol or because they both have glycerol as the backbone and fatty acids to form esters, no? And the only difference is that the third ester formed is composed of what we call our phosphate. Okay? So still, we have esters, not two esters, from the two fatty acids. And the other ester, or the other, is composed of what we call phosphate, which is the reason why we call this as our phospholipids. Take note, phospholipids contains polar and non-polar covalent bonds. That's why, no, it is an important constituent of our cellular membrane. Bakit? Because it separates, no, the hydrophobic and hydrophilic portion of the cell. It provides membrane. It provides covering, no, to our cells. Okay, and then uh, remember that phospholipids is a important lang surfactant material. Why? Okay, uh, the phospholipid is an important lung surfactant material because of the important constituents of the lungs, which is our phospholipids, which makes the lung surfactant material. Now, having said that, without these phospholipids, the inner lining of the heart, okay, the inner lining of the lungs rather, the inner lining of the lungs would adhere to itself. Now, what will happen? Once it adheres to itself, na mahirapan tayong mag-inhale. Okay? And resulting, exhale rather, mahirapan tayong mag-exhale, mag-huminga, in other words, and will result in the problem or difficulty in respiration. Okay? That's why our phospholipid is important. So, I guess at this point in time, you find out that our fatty acid, no, is an important building blocks of our triglycerides and phospholipids. Now, the other structure of lipid that we could have is our cholesterol. Of all lipid structures, no, cholesterol is complicated. No, it is considered as a complicated one, as you can see in our structure. However, even though that cholesterol is complicated, take note that cholesterol is the structure, no, of our cell membrane. Now, remember that these molecules plays an important role in providing the structure of our cell membrane and the starting material for the synthesis of some hormones, particularly the steroid hormones and vitamin D. Okay? Examples of steroid hormones is your androgens, no? Testosterone is an example of a steroid hormone. Now, another important characteristic or functionalities of our cholesterol is that, no, it is important in the formation of the bile salts. Now, what is the bile salts is all about? Bile salts are utilized for the digestion of lipids in the small intestine. Again, take note that these bile salts are important, no, or utilized, okay? It is utilized for the digestion of lipids, okay, in the small intestine. Okay? Next, aside from that, aside from the formation of bile salts, cholesterol is also considered as a wax material which forms a plate-like structures or plate-like crystals. No? Diba sabi natin, in our analysis of body fluids, ang ating cholesterol crystal is like a plate-like. Okay. Remember also that, as I said, this is capable also of the formation of plaques in the bloodstream. Now, the formation of plaque in the bloodstream is leading to the blocking of the blood flow in the blood vessel. Then the block or blocking of the blood flow in the blood vessel can lead into what we call heart damage. Okay? Since cholesterol is considered as uh, or cholesterol has a many functionality, it made reason, or it is one of the reason why cholesterol is one of the most studied molecules in lipoproteins or in lipids. Okay, so there are other lipids that can be found. Okay, uh, these other lipids can be the steroid hormones, no, all derived from cholesterol and considered as lipid. Okay, and interestingly, we also have our prostaglandins, which is a derivative of our long chain of fatty acids. Now, what is this sige, sige, I will write because I guess this is not included in my. Okay, so the other forms of lipids. Okay, so aside from uh, fatty acids, triglycerides, phospholipids, and cholesterols, no, there are other forms of lipids. Okay, so we have the steroid hormones. Well, as you can see or as you heard it, steroid hormone is a hormone, right? However, since steroid hormone is derived, no, this is derived from cholesterol, this which was I mentioned a while ago, no, steroid hormone is derived from cholesterol. Even though this is a hormone, no, aside from being hormone, we can also consider it as a lipid. Why? Why this can be considered as lipid? Because of cholesterol as its backbone. Now, even though that this molecule have the same ring structure, the substituent of the ring, no, which is our cholesterol, the difference in the side chain create a variety of variations or a variety of variations. Ang pangit. A wide of variations in the biochemical effects that they produce. Well, too much on that. So I'm just giving you an idea that steroid hormone can also be considered as our lipids. Therefore, testosterone can be considered as lipid. Okay. Now, other than steroid hormones, we also have our prostaglandins. Now, what is this prostaglandins? Take note also, people, that prostaglandins is a derivative. Okay. This is a derivative of what? Derivative of fatty acids. Okay. This is a derivative of fatty acids. And this molecule functions as the modulator of what? This is the modulator of hormone action. No? So we will discuss much on this in our uh, endocrinology. Okay, so this serves as the modulator of hormone action in the body and exert a variety of different influences. Okay, one of the important areas of or function of prostaglandins is it is involved in what? It is involved in the process of clotting. No? It is involved in the process of blood clotting. Now, the other form of lipid is we have the terpenes. Terpenes. What is this? These are long chain, no? These are long chain of unsaturated lipids. Okay? And act as some of the intermediates of our cholesterol. Okay? Acts as the intermediate of cholesterol. Okay? What else? About terpenes, the yellow material in carrots is a terpene. No? The yellow material in carrot is a terpene, which is called as the carotene. So, ibig sabihin, we can say that carrots, since it contains a terpene, a lipid, contains also lipids. Okay? And carrots is rich in vitamin A. Now, why carrots is rich in vitamin A? because of the carotene that it has, no? And this molecule, this carotene, will be converted into vitamin A. Okay? So those are the other molecules or the other lipids that we could have. Now, how about for the digestion and absorption of lipids? Okay. Now, take note, people, that the major classes of our fatty acids or the major classes of our lipids is the fatty acids, triglycerides, and cholesterol. Take note, people, that animal fat, no, animal fat is rich in triglycerides and cholesterol. Please remember that stomach can digest little of our lipids. And remember also that our small intestine is the major site of lipid digestion and absorption. I want you to remember that there is no enzyme specific, no enzyme specific in what? There is no enzyme specific in the breakdown of lipids. And the acid condition of these lipids, no, do little for the hydrolysis. Eh, bakit po na-hydrolyze? Bakit po na-synthesize ang ating lipids if there is no enzyme specific? Later, we are going to discuss that. How come that this thing is possible? Okay. Now, how about for the digestion and absorption? Take note, guys, that okay, the pancreatic fluid render the pH of the food mixture more basic. Again, take note that the pancreatic fluid renders the pH of the food mixture more basic. Now, the bile salts, okay, the bile salts that is present, no? The bile salts which is present, ano yung ginagawa? Okay? The bile salts which is synthesized by the liver and stored by the gallbladder from complexes with water insoluble lipids, no? Form the bile salts, form, or the bile acids, no? Form complexes with water insoluble lipids so that they can be acted upon by the enzymes, which functions best in an aqueous medium. Remember that specific enzymes are released by the pancreas into the small intestine. So kanina, ang sabi ko, walang specific enzyme for the metabolism, for the breakdown of lipids. However, the bile salts, which is synthesized by the liver and stored by the gallbladder, form complex with our lipids, with our water-insoluble lipids, which is possible na so that the enzymes will be acted upon it, in provided that it is in an aqueous medium. Now, these specific enzymes are released by the pancreas into the small intestine to hydrolyze our lipids. Breaking the lipids into a simple or smaller particles. The free fatty acids are simply because, or simplified, no? The free fatty acids are simplified by the absorbed by the intestinal wall. However, even though that the fatty acids are absorbed across the intestinal wall, the triglycerides must be metabolized to a lower molecular weight components. Okay, remember that the triglycerides must be metabolized to lower molecular weight components. Now, why? Okay, the hydrolysis of triglycerides is accomplished by the pancreatic enzyme lipase. So this is the only time when our enzymes will uh, acted upon, no? Because of the bile salt. Okay, lipase acts on the ester linkage between the glycerol and fatty acid portion of the molecule to form alcohol and carboxylic acid. So, ibig sabihin, no? So, di ba sabi natin, our glycerol, ba sabi natin, no? Our lipase, okay? Our lipase, the enzyme, no? This lipase will act upon the ester linkage. So, ito po yung ester linkage natin. Okay? It will act on the ester linkage so that our fatty acids, no, and glycerol or our triglycerides, no, in this manner, or our lipids in this manner, will break into alcohol and fatty acids. Okay, this alcohol is now your glycerol. Okay, your glycerol and fatty acids can be your saturated and your unsaturated. And this fatty acids is your carboxylic acids. Okay? That is our carboxylic acids. Now, how about this one? So, bigyan natin ng mas mahalagang buhay, no, para mas maging maganda ang ating usapan. Sabi natin, our triglycerides, once acted upon by our lipase, our triglycerides will break into glycerol and into a fatty acids. Okay, take note, people, that fatty acids are simply absorbed across the intestinal wall. Okay, fatty acids is absorbed across intestinal wall. Okay? However, our triglycerides or TAG, in other words, must be first metabolized to a lower molecular weight. Yung sabi natin kanina, kailangan maging lower molecular weight muna siya. Why is it necessary to become or to metabolize in lower molecular weight? It is necessary so that the hydrolysis is accomplished. Hey, now, having said that our triglycerides is broken down or broken down into a lower molecular weight, no, the hydrolysis of triglycerides by the pancreatic enzyme lipase will acted upon. Again, because of our lipase, no, which will produce our triglycerides, which will produce our fatty acids and glycerol, no? And glycerol. Now, the entire glyceride, the entire triglyceride molecule is not broken down before being usually absorbed or before being absorbed. Usually, one fatty acid remains doon sa ating triglycerides attached to the glycerol. Now, after this partial breakdown, no, of triglycerides. Okay? Triglycerides can now cross the intestinal wall. Why? Why? Why is it capable na to cross the intestinal wall? Because it was broken down into a lower molecular weight. These components are then presented back into the triglyceride before entering into the bloodstream. Okay? Now, here, or nor after that, they form complexes with specific protein which transport triglycerides back into the circulation. Remember that all lipids are water insoluble and must become first associated with our proteins. And once it becomes associated with our proteins, it is called our apolipoproteins. Okay? Again, once our lipids becomes associated with proteins, that is now called our apolipoproteins. Okay, let's go back in the synthesis of our carbohydrates. No? If you still remember the synthesis of our carbohydrates, ang sabi natin doon, meron tayong tinatawag na formation of our non-carbohydrate compounds into a carbohydrate as a source of our energy. One of which is our fatty acids, which is formed in the synthesis of our lipids. Hey, these fatty acids will undergo a series or several reactions. Well, it's not the time for us to discuss what are those reactions is all about because I believe that you were able, ito na pala, yan. Pero ito pa rin naman yan, pero I'll shift there, no? The fatty acids will undergo a series of chemical reactions, like what I'm saying a while ago, which was discussed, I believe, which was discussed to you in biochemistry. So fatty acids metabolism will form acetyl-CoA, and this acetyl-CoA will promote the formation of what we call the ketone bodies, which is seen in the urine or in the blood of a patient with type 1 diabetes mellitus. Okay. Now, these ketone bodies will be converted into pyruvate under a series of alchemical reactions. No? Yung ating glycerol will be converted into glyceraldehyde, which is the simplest carbohydrate, right? This is our simplest carbohydrate, which will be formed into glucose, and the metabolism of glucose will become glycogen, so that this is our stored energy. Glycogen will be stored, will be converted back into glucose by what we call glycogenolysis, to the breakdown of our glycogen through the help of enzyme glucagon. No? So yan o, nagre-relate na tayo. This is actually what is happening in our body. No? So pinagtutugma-tugma na natin kung bakit kapag ikaw ay mayroong diabetes, sometimes nagkakaroon ka din ng dyslipidemia because of the processes involved. Now, I will shift into this one, the synthesis and utilization of fatty acids and triglycerides. No? Remember guys that the complex, remember that a complex interchange exists between glucose metabolism and our triglyceride formation. So sabi natin kanina, glucose, no, o alam natin, no, that the glucose will undergo a series of chemical reactions, several chemical reactions. Okay? And the several chemical reactions of glucose will give you a 3-carbon intermediate. Okay, this 3-carbon intermediate is no other than our simplest carbohydrate, no? Which is our ano ngayon? Which is our glyceraldehyde, no? which is our glyceraldehyde. No? And undergoing several reactions to pyruvate, acetyl-CoA, itong si acetyl-CoA, no, magiging magiging ketone bodies, si ketone bodies makikita sa urine na may type 1. Si acetyl-CoA mag-undergo ng several reactions that will undergo fatty acids. Itong fatty acids na to magbe-breakdown again, no? Hanggang sa mag-form siya ng triglyceride since this is a backbone of that. Okay? So yun yung nangyayari. Now, remember, no? The formation of the 6-carbon carbohydrate fructose will split. Example, no? The 6-carbon carbohydrate fructose will split into the molecules of 3-carbon carbohydrate. Now, one of those carbon carbohydrate is partially diverted to the formation of what we call glycerol backbone of our triglyceride. Diba? Kung mabalikan natin ang structure ng ating glucose, yung glucose natin, meron tayo dong OH. Diba? Yung tatlong carbon ng ating carbohydrate, o yung 6 carbons. Now, yung 6 carbon ng carbohydrate natin, labis. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yan. OH, H, OH, H, OH, H, OH, H. No? This is our sugar. May split siya. No? May split siya into glyceraldehyde and our 3 carbon atoms having an alcohol, which is now your glycerol. No? Which is now our glycerol, which is the backbone of our triglyceride. Okay? Now, pyruvate, the end product of glucose metabolism, ano yung mangyayari? Will convert to acetyl-CoA. No? Will convert into acetyl-CoA. Now, this derivative can undergo further metabolism to provide the building blocks. No? To provide the building blocks used for the fatty acids. Okay? Now, this acetyl-CoA, no, fatty acids will build upon several reactions. Okay? These fatty acids, no, these fatty acids can be a long chain of carbon. O mahaba ang ating fatty acids. Now, the longer the carbon chains are incorporated of the double, or the longer the carbon chains, no, the longer the carbon chains are involved, okay, and incorporation of the double bonds, ano yung mangyayari? It will synthesize unsaturated fatty acids. Okay, after this, after the synthesize, the other biochemical processes occur. Okay, an ester reaction unites this molecule with glycerol back to form your triglycerides. Okay, this product is then transported by specific proteins to the adipose tissue, where it is stored in the adipose cells until needed for other purposes. So, ganun yung nangyayari, no? Ganun yung nangyayari sa katawan natin. Now, remember, when biochemical energy is required and not readily available for carbohydrates, the breakdown of triglycerides happen. no? The breakdown of triglycerides happen. Now, the fatty acids are hydrolyzed from molecule and undergo stepwise degradation. The broken down of two carbons at a time is what we call in a cyclic process. Each step of the process provides one molecule of acetyl-CoA. So yan yung mga biochemical processes, yung mga biochemical cycles na pinag-usapan nyo in your in your biochemistry. Okay? Now, how about the formation and utilization of our cholesterol? Now, pag pinag-usapan natin yung cholesterol, ano yung mga dietary sources niya? Take note guys that 15% of our cholesterol came from our dietary intakes, no? While the others is synthesized by the liver. Now, the major sources of our cholesterol from our dietary source is the meat, eggs, some seafoods. Example, I shrimp, no, and dairy products. Okay. Take note that also vegetable oil or rather, vegetable mineral are generally cholesterol free. No, kaya magandang gamitin ang vegetable oil kasi sila ay cholesterol free. However, the other steroid hormones are contained in plants. Ngayon, since siya ay steroid at si steroid na nakikita sa some plants ay ang backbone niya ay cholesterol, therefore, no, cholesterol can be uh, seen also, no? And that is a precursor for slowing down the absorption of cholesterol from the small intestine into the bloodstream. Now, how about the biosynthesis of our uh, cholesterol? So, pasensya na, no? Medyo marami tayong mga uh, diagrams. Makinig ng mahusay. Okay? Remember guys that the majority of the cholesterol molecule in our body are synthesized. I repeat, majority of our cholesterol in the body are synthesized. Now, the basic unit or the basic building block for cholesterol is the small molecule of acetyl-CoA. Ayan. Paano produce yung acetyl-CoA? Yung glucose, several reactions nag-form ng acetyl-CoA. Hindi natin pag-usapan yung several reactions at baka hindi tayo matapos. Now, this precursor goes through a series of reactions to form chains of increasing length of a process. Acetyl A undergoes several reactions to form your cholesterol. Okay? Two short chains join together to form a longer chain. Okay? Two of these longer chains connect and process is repeated. The end result is a 30 carbon. No, the end result is a 30 carbon chain, no, that undergoes cyclization. Okay, to form the compound lanosterol. Okay, from lanosterol, okay, a complex of series of reactions takes place. Okay, approximately 20 series of reactions which will rearrange our lanosterol to form our cholesterol. Okay? Ulitin ko. Sige, ulitin ko. Sabi natin, acetyl-CoA will undergo several reactions. And one of the reaction is the formation of two short, or the joining pala, the joining of two short chains, no, of carbon chain. Now, once these two short chains of carbon chains form together, they will the joining will repeat until such time they will produce a 30 carbon chain. No? This 30 carbon chain will undergo what we call cyclization. And the end product of this cyclization is what we call lanosterol. Ngayon, from lanosterol, this lanosterol will be undergoing several or complex of series of reactions. This complex of series reactions will rearrange, no, will rearrange the double bonds in our long chain of carbon, forming our cholesterol. And cholesterol is the end product of the synthesis of our acetyl-CoA. Now, since that the initial molecule in the pathway is leading to the formation of cholesterol through the synthesis of co-acetyl or acetyl-CoA, we can easily see the interrelationship between the dietary intake of lipids and carbohydrates and the formation of our cholesterol from the molecule. And that relationship is seen or is provided. No, pinakikita, yung relasyon na yon ay pinakikita ng graph na ito or ng cycle na ito. Remember, since acetyl-CoA is formed from the conversion of glucose to smaller molecules, excess production of intermediate can result in more being shifted to cholesterol synthesis. In a similar manner, take note that the breakdown of our fatty acids in the body resulted in the formation of co-acetyl-A, and co-acetyl-A now will undergo series of reactions at magiging cholesterol na naman. In other words, no, the possibility that some of our triglycerides will be converted into fatty acids, and this fatty acids breakdown will become our acetyl-CoA. Si acetyl-CoA mag-undergo ng several reaction at magiging cholesterol. At the end of the day, kung mataas ang glucose intake mo at mataas ang lipid intake mo, babagsak lang yan at babagsak sa production of cholesterol. That's why I want you to remember that those patients who are hyperglycemic, sila yung mga hyperglycemic, mataas ang blood sugar at mataas ang glucose level. Si glucose level, nag-undergo ng reactions, magiging co-acetyl-A will be converted into our cholesterol, and that is actually the reason why hyperdiabetic or hyperglycemic agent or hyperglycemic patient o yung mga mayroong diabetes is prone in what we call myocardial infarction, no? Which is seen sa mga pasyente na mataas ang cholesterol, meron silang dyslipidemia. Eh bakit yung diabetes mellitus can also lead into what we call myocardial infarction? Bakit yung may dyslipidemia ay mataas yung or prone sa what we call myocardial infarction? Well, for dyslipidemia, you have no doubt kung bakit magiging prone sa cholesterol kasi yung triglycerides mo mataas. Mataas ang triglycerides mo, it will undergo series of reactions, nagbe-breakdown ito into fatty acids and glycerol. Itong fatty acids po, kapag nag-breakdown, magiging coacetyl-A. Yung coacetyl-A, kapag nag-breakdown at nag-undergo ng several reactions, magfo-form as our cholesterol. And the formation of cholesterol, no? Itong cholesterol na to, pwede siyang ma-deposit doon sa mga tinatawag nating blood vessels in our heart. Kapag nag-deposit itong cholesterol sa blood vessels ng ating heart, ano yung nangyayari? Nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na atherosclerosis. Ano spelling ng atheros? Wait lang. Atherosclerosis. What is atherosclerosis? O, ulitin ko yung sulat. Ano yan? Hangot ang spelling. Wait. Atherosclerosis. I will check if this is the correct. I will check, no? I will announce. Atherosclerosis, ano yan? Yung hardening of the vein going to the heart. At kapag nag-hardening yung vein natin, mayroong blockage ng flow ng blood sa heart. At nagkakos ng infarction, nagkakos ng sudden damage in our heart. At kapag mayroong myocardial infarction, okay, ito na magka-heart attack ka. Kapag mayroong myocardial infarction, no, mataas alin? Mataas ang ating CKMB, mataas alin? Mataas ang ating myoglobin, no? Ay protein marker. Ano pa? Mataas ang ating troponin I. Okay? Mataas ang ating troponin T. Ano pa? Mataas ang ating AST. Pero different levels naman, no? And different times sila tumataas. So in other words, if you don't have a balanced diet, no, at the end of the day, you will die because of these reactions, because of these processes in the body. So balanced diet is recommended. No? Hindi pa yung mataas yung glucose intake mo, yung lipid mo hindi. Ganun din ang mangyayari sa'yo. Kahit pa ikaw hindi matakaw sa fatty acids or sa fatty foods, yung glucose intake mo, mataas ka sa glucose intake, nagiging cholesterol din. Tapos din ang buhay mo. Okay? So that is the biosynthesis of our glucose or the biosynthesis of our cholesterol. In other words, merong part ang ating carbohydrate in the formation of our cholesterol. At definitely, yung triglycerides ay mas may malaking part dito. So, ibig sabihin, remember guys, hindi ko ito diniscuss ng diabetes kasi gusto ko dito siya i-discuss. Yung diabetes can lead into what we call dyslipidemia. Diabetes, no? Mayroong hypertension. Ano natin yung increase? HTN is hypertension na. Okay? Kaya ano yung nangyayari minsan? Inatake sa puso si गर्ने. No? Apa, iti kita sakit nun ay diabetes. Bakit inatake sa puso? Ipaliwanag nyo, ganyan po ang nangyayari. Sasabihin, si ganito ay mataas daw ang cholesterol, ay hindi naman na kumakain ng matatabang pagkain. Ay siguro sa lahi na. Well, pwede naman talaga sa lahi. Aside from that, tingnan mo yung glucose intake niya. Baka siya ay diabetic. No? Yung diabetes, marami siyang pwedeng sakit na idulot. Diabetic nephropathy. Alam niyo yan. Diniscuss natin ito sa ating clinical microscopy. Okay? Well, why I'm saying this, why I'm sharing this, is because I want you to remember and I want you to know na, oo nga, tama nga, no? Lahat sila magkaka-relate. I don't want you to be overwhelmed, but This is the reality. Okay, now how about for the utilization? Take note, guys, that cholesterol is the initial steroid in the complex pathway leading to the formation of all steroid hormones. No? Leading to the formation of all steroid hormones. Okay? Remember, we have what we call cortisol. No? Cortisol promotes metabolic process. Yung steroid hormones na yan, we have cortisol. Si cortisol produced by adrenal gland. Si adrenal gland nag-produce ng cortisol because si anterior pituitary gland nag-produce ng ACTH, nag-release ng ACTH. Si cortisol, ano yung major function ni cortisol? Ha? Yung major function ni cortisol ay for metabolic processes, tama? And one of these metabolic processes is what? Yung glucose metabolism. Ano ang ginagawa ni cortisol? Pinopromote niya alin? Yung pag-synthesize ng mga non-carbohydrate compound para tumaas ang glucose level. Hyperglycemic ang effect. No? Eh, may cholesterol yan, pero tataas din ang glucose level. Lak ng buhay. Next. Another example of steroid hormone is the testosterone. Well, you know naman already that testosterone is the male sex hormone. Aside from that, estrogen. Para naman sa mga ladies. Okay? And our mineralocorticoid. No? Ano yung mineralocorticoid natin? Aldosterone. Para sa naman si aldosterone? Sodium retention. No? And regulation of blood pressure. Eh, syempre, yun na nga eh. Sodium retention. Adi involve si blood pressure. Okay? Now, significant portions of the cholesterol molecule is converted into cholesterol esters by specific enzyme. Now, these esters constitute major portion of the lipoprotein molecule and are involved in the process of the cholesterol transport into the utilization of what we call HDL. When we said HDL, that is our high-density lipoprotein. Okay? The interconversion of the cholesterol to the interconversion of cholesterol and our cholesterol ester by specific enzyme will promote the utilization of our high-density lipoprotein. Now, the other major conversion of our cholesterol is the conversion of cholesterol into a bile salt. Remember, bile salt is added to a polar group of cholesterol side chain. The molecule is now able, no? The molecule is now able to dissolve partially in water, but can still interact with other lipids. Remember that bile salts are important in the digestion of lipids in the small intestine. Why? Because they bind lipids and bring them back into contact with lipase. I repeat, bile acids is important in the digestion of lipids. Bakit po? Because they bind lipids and bring them back into contact with our lipase. Okay? Next is about lipid transport and storage. Kung pa yan, huwag kang mapagod. Kaya mo yan. Malalagpasan natin ito. Matatapos natin ito. Okay? So what is about lipid transport and storage? Remember, because they are water insoluble, lipids cannot circulate through the body. Okay? Remember, because our lipids are water insoluble or they are not soluble in water, lipids cannot circulate throughout the bloodstream. However, lipoproteins allows the movement of our lipids in the bloodstream. Okay? A number of proteins are synthesized by the liver or intestine, which are specifically responsible for the coating, no, of our lipid classes throughout an aqueous environment in the blood. Therefore, this is what we call our lipoproteins. What is lipoproteins? Lipoproteins provides coat for lipid mixture so that our lipid will be able to move or will be able to circulate into our bloodstream. Now, there are number of classes of lipoproteins. Okay, it can be your chylomicrons, it can be your VLDL, it can be your LDL, or it can be your HDL. Later, we're going to discuss the classes of lipoproteins. Okay, so like what I was saying, lipoproteins and their specificities, no, are different for different lipid categories. Now, the protein provides the coat, okay, which was mentioned a while ago, no, and cholesterol and other lipids aggregates. Now, once the cholesterol and other lipid aggregates, it will form a large complex. The protein serves, take note, the protein serves, uulitin ko, the protein serves, no? The protein serves as the coat or the outer layer. Protein serves as the outer layer, okay, and partially encases the lipids, making them water soluble. We also have what we call apolipoproteins. And what is apolipoproteins? Apolipoprotein serves four major functions in the body or in the transport of our lipids. What are those functions? Number one, okay, four functions of apolipoprotein. Okay. Di ba kanina binanggit ko sa inyo ang apolipoprotein? So ito na yan. Pag-usapan natin kung ano ba yung apolipoprotein na yan. But before that, let us discuss first what are, ayun na nga, pag-usapan natin kung ano ba yung ginagawa ng apolipoprotein na yan. What are the four major functions of our apolipoprotein? Number one, okay, our lipoproteins no, allows the transport mas pala ng true. Ay, may R ba yun? Yeah, throughout. Sorry, throughout the circulation. Okay, that's one of the major functions. Allows the transport of water-insoluble lipid molecule throughout the circulation, through the coating of protein. Another function of apolipoprotein is uh, regulating the synthesis and breakdown of various lipoprotein complexes. Regulates the synthesis and breakdown of various lipoprotein complexes as they travel throughout the body. Next, another function is serves as an activator or inhibitor of the specific lipase enzyme involved, no, in the synthesis or breakdown of our lipase enzyme. No, breakdown of uh, fatty acid esters. Breakdown of fatty acid esters. And lastly, no, the other function or the last function of our lipoprotein or apoproteins is ano nga to? Exchange from one lipoprotein fraction to another. Okay, exchange one lipoprotein fraction to another. Okay, so those are the functions of our apolipoproteins. Take note, guys, that the protein portion of this lipid protein complex provides a dynamic function in affecting the rates of several reactions and does not or and does much more than serve as a passive carrier of triglycerides, cholesterol, and other lipoproteins or other lipids. Okay, so we have here the characteristics of human lipoproteins and their variants. We have our ApoA1. Okay, we also have our excuse me. We also have our ApoA2, ApoA4, B10, B100, B48. So what is this all about? Okay, so the functions are given and the major source were also given. No? So please remember these apolipoproteins, most especially the things that I want to chart. Chart. Okay, so makikitandaan po si ApoA1, okay, si ApoA1, si ApoB100, and si ApoB48. Well, bakit? Matandaan ko lang noong review namin, no? Yan yung mga apolipoproteins na pinatandaan sa amin ng aming reviewer, no? Na lumabas na ng board exam. So, malay natin, lumabas ulit ngayon. So, wala namang masama kung tatandaan nyo. Mas tatandaan nyo sila. Okay? So, for ApoA1, so remember guys, that is the major structural protein in our LDL, or HDL rather, and it activates LCAT. Later, I'm going to discuss what is LCAT. But when I said LCAT, That is our lecithin cholesterol acyltransferase, which is an enzyme, no? Bind ligand, okay? Take note that ApoA1 is the only apoproteins that can be found, or that can be, yeah, that, the sources are both liver and intestine. Okay? Aside from ApoA1, si ApoA2 also activates our LCAT, and take note that ApoA2 enhances hepatic triglycerides lipase activity. For ApoA4, no, component of intestinal lipoprotein. So since this is a component of intestinal lipoproteins, it is intestine. Now for ApoB100, take note guys also that this is the major structure of VLDL, very low density lipoprotein, and your LDL. For ApoB48, no, remember naman that is the primary structure of our chylomicrons, which is one of the classes of our lipoproteins. Okay, so we also have ApoAC1, no, ApoAC2, C3, no, ApoE234, and ApoA. Yeah, so later we'll discuss that. Now, ito, gusto ko bigyang halaga, ApoA1, o ApoA, I'm sorry, ApoA is the structural protein for LPA. No? Ano po yung LPA? LPA is similar, no? It is similar, or it has a similar density with LDL, but migrates similarly, no? Migrates similarly with VLDL. No. Migrates similarly to VLDL and electrophoresis. Okay. Take note that this can be detected when the density of the protein is greater than 1.006 grams per ml. Again, take note that LPA has a similar density of LDL. It migrates similarly to VLDL. Ano ba to? VLDL. I'm sorry guys. VLDL. Now in electrophoresis, it can be detected when the density of the protein is 0 or greater than 1.006 grams per ml. Take note that when LPL is present in a concentration exceeding 20, no, greater than 20 to 30 mg per DL, okay, this contributes more than 10 mg per DL of LDL, no, then additional bond, no, additional bond with Re, B, or beta mobility is also observed. Okay? And take note, lalabas po dito si beta VLDL, and this beta VLDL is also known as our sinking, is also known as our beta, no? Beta lipo, the beta very low density lipoprotein, okay? This is also known as our floating beta lipoprotein. Okay? So again, Ulitin ko para hindi masyadong malito. Si ApoA is a structural protein of LPA. Sino si LPA? LPA has a similar density with LDL. Si LDL nagmamigrate similar with VLDL in electrophoresis. Kapag ang density is less or greater than 1.006 mg per deciliter, the protein is examined under or using electrophoresis. Now, when LPA is present in concentration exceeding greater than 20 mg to 30 mg per deciliter, an additional bond will be seen with pre-beta mobility and observed in the density greater than 1.006 kilograms per liter fraction. Yun pong makikita na pre-beta mobility, okay, that dito na lang, that pre-beta mobility, spelling. The pre-beta mobility, no, is named as our pre-beta lipoprotein. Different siya sa VLDL, ha? This pre-beta lipoprotein is also known as itong LPA na to, ito yung also known as the sinking beta lipoprotein. Sinking beta lipoprotein. Yung VLDL, yung beta, very low density lipoprotein, is known as our floating lipoprotein. Okay, ano yung palatandaan? Boat, bangka, floating sa dagat. LPA, pag may LPA, may bagyo. Kapag may bagyo, merong lulubog, sinking beta lipoprotein. Okay? So that is the characteristic of our lipoproteins and their variants at saan sila nakikita. Well, actually, we still have other lipoproteins. ApoJ, ApoH, ApoF, and ApoG. ApoD is also a lipoprotein. However, they are considered as our minor lipoproteins or apolipoproteins. Okay? Now, I said that classifications of proteins can be divided into two, which is according to the density and according to the classification. Now, when we said density, no, it can be based on high density and low density. Well, if in case of lipid composition, it can be through to chylomicrons, VLDL, HDL, and LDL. So we have here a chart showing the composition of our lipid fractions. Okay, so please remember this one. Okay, please remember this one. So take note, guys, that chylomicrons is considered as exogenous. VLDL is endogenous. Later, we're going to discuss why is this called endogenous, why is this called exogenous. LDL is considered as our bad cholesterol, and HDL is considered as our good cholesterol. Okay? So the protein composition and the protein complexes. Remember, guys, that protein is important in the metabolism of lipids. Why? because it coats our lipids so that it will carry the water-insoluble lipids through the bloodstream. Okay, along with that, some structure to the complex and various proteins serves as an activator and inhibitors of the lipase, which converts our triglycerides into glycerol and fatty acids. We have what we call the lecithin cholesterol acyltransferase, which was mentioned a while ago in one of the functions of our apoproteins, apolipoproteins. Now, what is this? Lecithin cholesterol acyltransferase is an important enzyme for the formation of cholesterol esters from the cholesterol. Take note, people, that both beta and E apolipoproteins have received intensive study because of their role in binding with lipoprotein fractions to the cell membrane for intake and further metabolism. Okay? So that is the composition and of lipoprotein complexes. Now, how about the lipoprotein and triglyceride utilization? So ano po yung meron dito? Listen. When the triglycerides are digested into the small intestine, okay, from dietary lipids, digested in small intestine, they are hydrolyzed by our pancreatic lipase. Now, after hydrolyzation of our pancreatic lipase, the fatty acids and the acylglycerol fragments pass through the intestinal wall, and once they pass through the intestinal wall, they are resynthesized into triglycerides. Okay? Now, at this point, ano yung mangyayari? The reformed lipids will become associated with what we call lipoprotein B48, which is the major composition of your lipoprotein B48 is your chylomicrons, okay? Which will be synthesized in the intestine, okay? Which will result in the complex of the chylomicrons. Now, it is mainly the lipid of about 2 to 3% protein associated. Okay? The major component of triglyceride is a small amount of cholesterol and cholesterol ester, also as our ester is present. So ano ba yung composition ng triglycerides natin? The composition of triglycerides, 80 to 95% chylomicrons, 45 to 65% is VLDL, 4 to 8% of our triglyceride is LDL, and then 2 to 7% naman is HDL. No? Now, yung ating chylomicrons, no? Yung ating chylomicrons, I'm sorry, this is wrong. Yung ating chylomicrons, rather, please allow me to correct, yung ating chylomicrons is composed of 80 to 95% triglycerides. Okay? 1 to 2% protein. 1 to 3% cholesterol. Okay? 2 to 4% cholesterol ester, and 3 to 6% phospholipids. Okay? Now, these chylomicrons enter the circulation and travel into various tissues. Okay? And then activated by apolipoprotein C11. Okay. Triglyceride digestion occurs and fatty acids become available for the cell to utilize as energy or as a building blocks of our biochemicals. Take note, no? Smaller and much denser lipoproteins is the product or the result. Having loss of the triglyceride is contained. Now, remember that these chylomicrons, no, can contain cholesterol and proteins. Therefore, no, the liver, where the cholesterol is taken up by the liver cells, cholesterol and phospholipid portion of the remnants are transferred back to HDL, which then moves to the liver and further metabolism. Actually, guys, this reaction is what we call exogenous. No? Exogenous. Kaya sabi natin, chylomicrons is exogenous. Well, endogenous will be discussed in the next graph or in the next pathway. Okay? Remember, a number of other lipoproteins are synthesized by the liver, and these protein fractions are then combined with our triglycerides as designated by our cholesterol. No? The release of VLDL, which is an endogenous in the circulation, is followed by the activation of lipoprotein lipase with the release of glycerol. So ito naman, yung ating endogenous, which involves our VLDL. Ano naman po yung meron dito? Triglycerides, remember guys, triglycerides and the appropriate lipoprotein cholesterol now forms chylomicrons, which undergo metabolism and form either LDL and chylomicrons. Chylomicron remnants, yan yun, yung chylomicron remnants. These chylomicron remnants, no, will pass through the liver for further disposal. Okay, this is the endogenous pathway. The formation of the bile acids, no, the formation of bile acids, ito. The formation of bile acids into the small, which are excreted. Now, the formation of bile acids, which is excreted in the small intestine or in the intestine, will participate in the digestive process of our chylomicron remnants. Okay. In the endogenous pathway of lipoprotein metabolism, cholesterol facilitates transport and removal of our cholesterol facilitates transport and removal of these lipids formed through in the intracellular metabolism and not dealt with by the way of exogenous cycle. Kaya siya nandito sa endogenous. Now, in the liver, ano yung mangyayari? In the liver, triglyceride cholesterol and cholesterol esters interact with a specific apolipoprotein to form our VLDL. Okay? I repeat. No? I repeat. Our chylomicrons end up in the liver. And these triglycerides, cholesterol, and cholesterol esterol interact with specific apolipoprotein. At sino po kaya yung specific apolipoprotein na yun? That is no other than our apolipoprotein or ApoB100. Diba? Sabi natin, ApoB100 is the specific apolipoprotein or the structural protein in VLDL. Okay? Now, once this VLDL is formed, ano yung mangyayari? No? Following the entry of VLDL into the circulation, The triglyceride portion of the VLDL is partially hydrolyzed by the enzyme lipoprotein lipase. Okay? And the hydrolyzation of VLDL by our lipoprotein lipase is possible in the capillary tissue. Okay? Possible in the capillary tissue. Okay. Now what will happen? Uh, after the conversion of our VLDL into the capillary tissue, ano po yung next na mangyayari? Okay? The resulting IDL, no? The resulting IDL, ito na yan. So, na-utilize na yung ating VLDL. The resulting IDL is less lipid-rich and further converted into two ways. It's either it will go back to the liver, no, or it will form our what we call LDL, no. The lipase hydrolysis of triglycerides with less or with the loss of more lipid, leading to the formation of cholesterol-rich LDL fraction. Bakit? Ilang percent ba ang cholesterol ng ating LDL? 6 to 8. No? Si LDL yung cholesterol rich, 6 to 8 of all, siya yung may pinakamataas na concentration ng ating cholesterol. Bakit? Kasi si chylomicrons 1 to 3 lang. Si VLDL 4 to 8. Si HDL ay 3 to 5. Pero si LDL 6 to 8. Kaya siya ang tinawag natin na cholesterol-rich fraction. Now, this cholesterol-rich fraction, LDL, represents one of the most significant advances in understanding the transport of understanding the transport and metabolism of our cholesterol. Okay? Now, the low-density lipoprotein complex, ay ano ba yung composition natin ng LDL? Okay, so pag-usapan natin, what is the composition of LDL? LDL is 6 to 8, yeah, ito na nga, 6 to 8% cholesterol. Okay? Aside from that, LDL is 18 to 22% proteins. What else? LDL is 45 to 50% cholesterol esterase, ester. What else? Our LDL is 18 to 24% phospholipids. So yan yung formation natin or composition of our LDL. Okay, again, the low-density lipoprotein complex contains mainly apoprotein B. So bakit si apoprotein B? Sino ba yung ating receptor ng ating or ng major protein natin ng LDL? Kagaya ni VLDL, ang major protein natin sa LDL or yung protein natin, no, sa LDL is no other than our ApoB100. Remember that this is also the ligand, no? Si ApoB100 is also the ligand of our LDL receptor. Okay? So what will happen? Cholesterol and the portion, no? The portion of LDL interacts with specific receptor on the cell membrane. Sino yung receptor na yon? And si ApoB100. Okay? The LDL receptor complex enters the cell and broken down by the enzyme within the lysosomes. Okay? Take note that LDL is protein hydrolyzed into its constituent amino acids. Cholesterol is esterified with fatty acids by the enzyme acyl-CoA. Cholesterol, acyltransferase, and receptor moves back cell surface to intake the cycle. And that is what is happening in the endogenous pathway of our lipoprotein metabolism. Okay? So that is it for now. Later, or not later, on the next video that I'm going to share, we're going to discuss the analysis of lipids in the body and the heart diseases. So thank you very much. I hope that you learn about our lipids. Thank you and God bless you all.